A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to the channel once again. Business across the board has been steadily increasing, thereby allowing for extreme profit margins to appear all over the place. Left, right, center, up and down, and I tell you, it's getting a little overwhelming at this point. Combining the fact that I'm having volunteer work at the same time that I have my own stuff to complete, including inventory liquidation, groundskeeping, landscaping, and many other things that I have taken on to tasks of all sorts. The amount of money that I basically have been making this whole entire time, this whole entire year, has really allowed me to do a lot of other things that I would normally have not been able to do by this point. And as a result, let's just say that I went ahead to Best Buy and picked up yet another little upgrade to my camera collection. This is probably one of the best that I might have ever had to utilize. Of all the cameras that I've had throughout my entire YouTube career that has settled upon the many other things that are in the business itself, Kaiju Force Neo is growing at an exponential rate. But I can't really tell if things are only going to continue to get better or they might actually get worse, considering how we're still in such a time period like this. But I shouldn't have to take any of this for granted, because after all, this is the new Canon G7 PowerShot Mark III. This exact model, I tell you, I've had to spend a whopping $787. That's including tax plus the base MSRP on this thing. I also have yet to apply for a warranty on this thing as well, plus some other protective hardware to keep this thing from, well, possibly getting destroyed. Well, anyways, I might as well see what I can do based on how this thing actually is going to work for my channel itself. So here we are unboxing this entire thing. Well, right off the bat we got ourselves the product's warranty label plus an actual warranty, well, application on here from America and Canada only. Then, well, this must be the battery for it. Or, yeah, it's a little charger for the battery itself. And let's see what else we got here. Whoa, a little strap for the camera itself. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Well, this should come in handy, pretty much. Next up, well, looks like the battery itself. Alright, the Canon battery pack. 3.6 volts, of course, at 1250 mAh. Pretty much. So, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing into the outlet nearby. Well, I guess we'll see what happens then after it charges, but you know what? While I wait, let's go ahead and put the box to the side, because here we go. The main attraction. Here it is. Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III in all of its glory. Wow. This thing is like jam-packed with, well, looks like a bunch of possibilities by any means. Well, this is quite a small package right here. I was not necessarily expecting this thing to be that big entirely, but then again, when you pretty much go into have a lot of expectations for some little piece of hardware like this, I guess this is kind of what you'd end up with altogether. So, I guess right off the bat I can say this thing is giving me a lot of high hopes. Nothing false by any means. Looks like we also got a few other things here to put together. Looks like there's a little Well, there is a little pop-up light that's activated with this little switch here. There we go. Of course, you saw this too. It's a little flip-up screen. This is probably one of the biggest, most important aspects of most cameras that I seem to want to have in pretty much every model I get my hands on. Unless I have the money to hire a professional vlogger out there who is capable of handling whatever kind of camera that I typically utilize, maybe I could use one of those professional cameras or DSLRs that doesn't really have this sort of flip screen on it. But until then, I can't always expect that to take place. Well, you know what? There's tons of little gizmos on here. Lots of pieces of tech that I'm not really sure of. Well, you know what? Aside from a lot of things here surrounding this exact model of camera by any means, I'm pretty excited for what things are going to be like down the road. But, you know what? I guess if there's one last thing I'm going to need to do, I'm going to need to test this thing out. And I just, well, plugged the charging unit into the wall with the battery in it. So, you know what? I'm going to wait a little bit, and, well, when it's fully charged, we'll test it out from here. Alright, so, it's been about 3 hours since I plugged this thing into the wall, and wow. Feels a little warm to the touch for some reason, but anyways, here we are. Let's not delay this craziness any further, because now is the time to pretty much present to you my Canon in action. So let's get the mode switched on this thing. Get ready for some 4K Ultra HD in action in 3, 2, 1. Alright, turn this thing on. Alright. Okay, this time for real. 3, 2, 1. Alright, here we are. Well, check this out, guys. Zooming in on that screen there, well, hopefully autofocus is pretty much at its best. But right now, let's just say that I myself am pretty much proud of what I've already managed to accomplish here. Business is certainly not like most. Many may have crumbled, but Kaiju Force Neo stands tall, brave, willing, and dependable on most things. In the end, though, I will say that I've managed to do a whole lot. As a result, well, I don't know about this camera. I mean, it's had a great run, but I feel like now's the time to focus on this particular upgrade. As a result, well, I don't know. Let's just turn this thing off for right now, though, because it could be wasting some precious battery supply. Otherwise, well, if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.